In the span of just a few short months, we've witnessed a phenomenon that's left many in the tech industry scratching their heads: the mass migration of users from one popular AI tool to another. As of January 2024, Chat, the conversational AI developed by OpenAI, has reportedly been deleted or deactivated by over 1 million users on Twitter alone. Yes, you heard that right, 1 million. To put this number into perspective, consider that's roughly 2 of all active Twitter users worldwide. But what's behind this sudden exodus? Is it a reaction to the AI itself, or something more nuanced? To understand the complexities at play, let's take a closer look at the events leading up to this mass migration. It began in late November 2023 when Meta, the parent company of Instagram and Facebook, announced its own conversational AI project, Llama. Developed by Meta AI, Llama was touted as a more advanced alternative to chat, boasting improved capabilities in natural language understanding and generation. The move sent shockwaves throughout the tech industry, with many speculating that OpenAI had underestimated the potential threat posed by its competitors. As the news spread like wildfire on social media, users began to take notice. Over the next few weeks, we saw a significant surge in Llama adoption, with many high-profile influencers and thought leaders singing its praises. But not everyone was convinced. A vocal minority took to Twitter to express their concerns about the potential implications of relying on AI-generated content. And then, just as it seemed like Llama was gaining momentum, something unexpected happened. In early December 2023, Elon Musk took to Twitter to express his own reservations about the growing reliance on AI. Citing concerns over bias and control, Musk sparked a heated debate that would ultimately prove pivotal in shaping the future of conversational AI. It's worth noting that this isn't the first time Musk has spoken out on the topic. In fact, he's been a vocal critic of AI since its inception. But what does this have to do with the mass migration from chat? As it turns out, a significant number of users began to defect to Llama shortly after Musk's comments. This raises an important question. Are users fleeing chat in search of something better, or are they simply trying to distance themselves from the AI itself? To answer this, let's take a closer look at the technical differences between the two. One major distinction lies in their respective architectures. Llama is based on a novel architecture known as the transformer model, which allows for more efficient and effective processing of natural language data. In contrast, Chat relies on a traditional recurrent neural network architecture, which has been criticized for its limitations in handling long-range dependencies. But there's another factor at play here: user trust. As Musk's comments highlighted, the lack of transparency surrounding AI decision-making processes can have serious consequences. And it's precisely this issue that many users are grappling with when it comes to chat. You see, the more we rely on AI-generated content, the harder it becomes to distinguish between human and machine. The list time, This brings us to our first section, the ethics of AI. As we continue down this rabbit hole, let's delve deeper into the world of AI ethics. In recent years, there's been a growing concern about the potential consequences of relying on AI-generated content. And it's precisely this issue that's driving many users to abandon chat in favor of Llama. But what exactly does this mean for the future of conversational AI? To understand, let's take a closer look at the current landscape. In 2022, researchers from Stanford and Google published a landmark study on the bias inherent in AI decision-making processes. The findings were stark. When trained on biased data, AI models are more likely to perpetuate existing prejudices. This raises an important question. Can we truly trust AI to make decisions that align with human values? Or are we merely placing our faith in code? To answer this, let's examine the role of transparency in AI development. When it comes to chat, many users have expressed concerns about the lack of visibility into its decision-making processes. In contrast, Llama's developers have made a concerted effort to prioritize transparency and explainability. By providing detailed information on the data used to train the model, Meta is attempting to build trust with users who may be hesitant to rely on AI-generated content. But this raises another question. Can we truly separate fact from fiction when it comes to AI? To explore this further, let's take a closer look at the concept of explainability in AI. This refers to the ability of an AI model to provide insights into its decision-making processes, essentially allowing users to understand why it arrived at a particular conclusion. In the case of a llama, explainability is achieved through a novel mechanism known as attention weighting. By analyzing the weights assigned to different input features, developers can gain valuable insights into how the model makes decisions. This has far-reaching implications for fields like healthcare and finance, where transparency is paramount. But what about chat? When it comes to this AI, users err largely in the dark when it comes to its decision-making processes. In fact, many have reported feeling frustrated by the lack of control over the AI's output. This has led some to speculate that OpenAI may be relying too heavily on user data. As we continue our exploration of the ethics of AI, let's examine the role of data in conversational AI development. In recent years, there's been a growing concern about the potential consequences of relying on biased or incomplete data. And it's precisely this issue that's driving many users to seek out more transparent alternatives like Llama. This brings us to our second section, the role of data in conversational AI. As we discussed earlier, the decision-making processes of conversational AI models are heavily influenced by the data used to train them. But what exactly does this mean for users? To understand, let's take a closer look at the current state of conversational AI research. In recent years, there's been a growing recognition of the importance of high-quality training data in conversational AI development. This includes datasets like Wikipedia and Open Web Text, which are designed to provide more diverse and representative examples of human language. However, when it comes to chat, many users have expressed concerns about the potential biases inherent in its training data. In contrast, Llama's developers have made a concerted effort to prioritize diversity and representativeness in their datasets. By incorporating more varied sources of information, Meta is attempting to build a more inclusive AI model that can better serve diverse user populations. But this raises another question. What exactly happens when we rely on biased data? To answer this, let's examine the concept of data drift. This refers to the phenomenon where an AI model becomes less accurate over time due to changes in its training data. In the case of chat, some users have reported experiencing data drift firsthand. For example, many have noted that the AI's responses become increasingly generic or formulaic when presented with new input. This has led some to speculate that OpenAI may be relying too heavily on pre-existing datasets rather than continuously updating its training data. In contrast, Llama's developers are attempting to mitigate this issue through a novel approach known as online learning. By incorporating real-time feedback and continuous updates, Meta is attempting to build an AI model that can adapt more effectively to changing user needs. But what